I went through a lot to buy 2 Taylor Swift concert tickets. I was planning to go with my boyfriend, but he took both tickets. On the day of the concert, I saw him cuddled up with another woman in those seats. Last month, TikTok kept recommending Taylor Swift concert videos to my boyfriend, Travis. I noticed he always swiped past them quickly and remained expressionless. I pretended not to care. Taylor is a star both of us like. I saw the concert news too. But the official tickets were gone in a flash when the news came out. Travis must want to surprise me by taking me to the Taylor concert. I noticed his browser history: Taylor Swift concert official tickets, Taylor Swift concert ticket resale. Where to buy Taylor Swift concert tickets? Next Taylor Swift concert pre-sale. I decided to make that surprise happen. I wanted to surprise him. I was so naive back then. Thinking back, I want to slap myself. I eagerly searched for information but had no luck. So I gave in and contacted a scalper. The scalper and I met at the stadium entrance. He wore a baseball cap and looked around nervously as he approached. Want them? 2 tickets for $3,000. We had already settled the price online. I'm not good at bargaining, and the middle-aged man in front of me looked crafty. Bargaining on the spot would be useless. Are these real tickets? I only cared about one thing, asking an obvious question. They're real for sure. I got a UV light. Here, see? There's an anti-counterfeit mark. The scalper shone the UV light on the tickets, showing the official marks. Just as I was about to transfer the money, someone tapped my shoulder. Jones came out from behind. Been watching you for a while. What's happening? Jones is my classmate. Same class in middle school, same school in high school and college. I asked him to help check if the tickets were real. Jones carefully examined the tickets. He shook his head and said to the scalper, "Hey brother, your tickets don't have the hexagonal glitter. How about I scratch them with a pencil?" "Don't talk if you don't know stuff." The scalper snatched the tickets back. "Girl, do you want them? They're definitely real. If you want them, pay up. I got things to do." I trusted Jones. "Then just leave. You won't get far if I call the police." Hearing this, the scalper turned and ran. Jones asked, "You're buying tickets?" "But they're sold out everywhere." "Never mind, I'll get you some." Jones worked part-time at the stadium. Thanks to his connections, he got me 2 tickets at the official price. I proudly showed the tickets to Travis. Instead of surprise, his face showed more panic. "Anna, where did you get these tickets?" "I bought them." "I almost got scammed." I bragged. "That's great. My friend asked me to help buy tickets, and I looked for a long time but couldn't find any." I was at a loss for words and paused. "Weren't you going to go with me?" Travis regained his usual composure and smiled at me. "Of course, I want to go with you, but I've been busy prepping for my exams. I don't have time to go." I asked if I could keep 1 ticket since I wanted to go too. He apologized. "My friend wants to go with his girlfriend. It's an offer I can't refuse. Can we watch it together once I'm free?" "Anna, you're the best." That made me feel good. Travis knew how to charm me and held me in his arms. "How did you know I was buying tickets?" he asked sincerely. "TikTok suggested it." "TikTok knows you better than I do." I told the truth, which also felt like mocking myself. He didn't ask why I almost got scammed. What a fool. He took the tickets without paying. We had long stopped talking about money. The next day on social media, I saw 2 Taylor Swift concert tickets. The seat numbers were blurred, but the lower left corner of the tickets had 2 faint gray scratches. Jones had scratched those marks when he gave me the tickets. He had explained to me about the ticket security features. The tickets were printed on thermal paper. Scratching them could leave marks. While explaining, he scratched 2 lines, then stopped, and continued explaining other features. I didn't remember much, but those 2 lines stuck with me. A starts with 2 lines. I zoomed out and read the caption, "Promise fulfilled. Off to see Taylor." The account name was Red Rose, my roommate, Rosa. Was it a coincidence? I was angry but didn't show it. Perhaps Travis gave the tickets to his friend, who then gave them to her, or they changed hands a few times. The world is small, you never know who you'll run into. The next day I ran into Jones at the cafeteria, smiling as always. I asked him, could you help me get another ticket? That stumped Jones. He thought for a moment, adjusted his glasses. I'll try, but I can't promise. In the afternoon, he messaged me, couldn't get tickets, but you can volunteer help with crowd control. Want to? He even sent some pictures. It's tough work. You'll have your back to the stage, but you can hear the music and occasionally sneak a peek. It's free and you get paid. I was tempted. When I met with Travis, I excitedly wanted to share this with him, but each time I started to talk about the concert, Travis changed the subject. The last time he interrupted me, Anna, I know you really want to go to the concert, but I already gave the tickets away. It's not right to ask for them back, okay? Angry, I swallowed my feelings and stayed silent. For the next few days, he tried to cheer me up, but I didn't get the answer I wanted. On the day of the concert, Travis hurriedly left the school early in the morning, saying a friend needed his help. As planned, at 1 o'clock, Jones took me to the center of the gym to gather. After a brief training session, I put on a vest and a red hat, officially starting my job. A few excited girls nearby were chattering non-stop about what they had done to become volunteers. That's when I realized how rare this opportunity was. I looked at Jones gratefully, but she waved it off. It's not as exaggerated as they make it seem, my friend just happened to help out a bit. As the event was about to start, the explosive warm-up music blasted through, clearing away my gloom from the past few days. The audience gradually entered, mostly in groups, excited couples, close girlfriends, playful brothers. Everyone had an excited look on their face. It took an hour and a half from ticket check to the start of the show. Luckily, Jones reminded me to wear sneakers so I wouldn't end up exhausted. The lights in the arena went out, stage lights came on, and the idol was about to make an entrance. The crowd roared and cheered. With my back to the stage, I could only see the jubilation of the crowd. Jones shouted to me, you can turn around and watch for a bit, don't always keep your back turned, I'll remind you if anything comes up. Standing at this super VIP spot, I would sneak peeks at the idol singing whenever I could. But keeping an eye on the crowd, managing order, and handling any sudden situations were my responsibilities. When the crowd erupted again, I had to turn back to work. My gaze pierced through layers of people and fell on a familiar face. It was just a fleeting glimpse before the front rows blocked my view. I stood on my tiptoes, searching with hope that I might have been mistaken. Row 9 seemed about right. I narrowed down my search. The music seemed to stop in my ears as I blindly searched through the crowd in the darkness. I spotted him again. This time, I could see clearly, it was Travis, with Rosa by his side. It felt like lightning struck me, I almost collapsed. Jones held me up. In the darkness, I burst into loud sobs, crying like a downpour. I took advantage of the noisy crowd to cry out my grief, mourning for my 5 years of youth. 5 years ago, I started liking Travis after a hero saving the damsel scenario. Just after leaving the convenience store, a small thug blocked me at the staircase corner. Hand over the money, he demanded. I resolutely refused. No. Don't make me fight you. As I prepared to accept whatever fate awaited me, a small figure rushed in. But he wasn't there to save me, he was there to get beaten. He was clearly no match for the thug. The true hero entered the scene last. A young man in all white, with flowing long hair, dashed in and effortlessly dragged the thug away, leaving behind a cool silhouette. That glowing man in my memory was every girl's dream at school, the campus bully Travis. Naturally, I developed feelings for him. I was self-aware, knowing I was just an ordinary girl compared to the attention Travis commanded. I foolishly mustered the courage to confess, even planning how to handle the rejection and where to cry afterward. That day, I finally caught him alone and rushed over. Travis, I've liked you for a long time. Will you be my boyfriend? Surprisingly, Travis hesitated a bit before agreeing. I was overjoyed. From then on, Travis took the initiative. He was deeply affectionate towards me. Travis wasn't just a thug with no academic skills. I gradually grew to love him, moving from blind admiration to real affection. Sometimes, I'd ask him, "What do you like about me?" Travis would respond with deeply affectionate eyes, "Because you're wonderful." He had a bunch of rough friends. Each time I helped him apply ointment, I'd feel both pained and troubled. It was his nature, something I couldn't interfere with, nor did I want to. On the contrary, I loved his helpfulness and generosity. Travis was my ideal hero. He didn't care how much money he had. Whenever he went out with friends for a meal or to play, he always insisted on paying. His family wasn't well off. I always worried he'd run out of money and go hungry, so I often gave him all my pocket money. My parents ran a building materials business and doted on me. Whenever I needed money, they'd just tell me to take what I needed from the store's cash register. I'm actually quite traditional. Despite dating early, I never dared to cross the line. With Travis, we just held hands. Travis respected my decision to wait until marriage. Sometimes, I'd see Travis turning red in the face and couldn't help but laugh. In high school, encouraged by Jones, I even tried vlogging, becoming a food review YouTuber. I earned a few grand a month. Travis helped me save the money, saying we could use it for our future. He was only 2 years ahead of me and was already considering our future together. Reflecting on the past 5 years, I couldn't believe what I was seeing now. For those 5 years, Travis had mostly always given in to meth. Only time he made me mad was because of his friends. Once, at a gathering with his friends, one of them, emboldened by alcohol, called me a bitch. That word hit my sore spot. I've heard rumors that I wasn't good enough for Travis. I got angry immediately and confronted him. "What did you say?" His friend nonchalantly replied, "Just joking, don't mind." There was not even a hint of an apology in his tone. I was furious and looked to Travis for support. Travis glanced at his friend but said nothing. He avoided my eyes, and I was mad that he didn't stand up for me. Jones came to my aid, standing up seriously and saying, "A joke is supposed to make people happy. What you said was an insult. Anna is very upset, you should apologize." Reluctantly, his friend apologized. Now, the pain surged back. Am I truly not good enough for him? Is he going to abandon me? I waited until the audience had all left, exhaling a heavy sigh, and collapsing to the ground. Curling up, Jones silently stayed with me, not asking a single question. Being classmates for so many years, he knew some things. Half an hour went by, my emotions gradually calmed down, and he suggested we get some fresh air. Jones walked with me aimlessly along the sidewalk in front of the stadium. As we passed the nearby high school, I walked inside. There were only a few people jogging at this time, and some student couples whispering sweet nothings in the dark. I stared blankly at a couple cuddling on a bench by the lawn. Travis and I, 2 years apart, rarely saw each other. Our happiest moments were just sitting together, quietly chatting. Seeing them, I remembered my high school days were just like that too. Jones suddenly spoke, breaking my thoughts, and I looked at him in surprise. Jones is the typical good student, never heard of him dating anyone. Even now, he's single. I used to watch like that in high school too. Jones slowly added, winking playfully at me. I was amused, feeling much better. Getting cheated on isn't a big deal, but it could be a misunderstanding. I decided to play it cool, investigate and get my justice. I didn't want to go back to the dorm. I didn't want to see Rosa. She was definitely not innocent. At the beginning of the school year, there were limited spots for low-income students, and we had to vote to decide. Rosa, a rich kid with a family restaurant, went around canvassing votes and even promised to treat everyone if she got the low-income spot. When the teacher announced the shortlisted names and asked if there were any objections, I raised my hand decisively. The low-income spot should go to those who genuinely need it, not a popularity contest. With my interference, the voting results were nullified. Rosa lost the low-income spot, looked ugly, and stared at me coldly ever since that evening, in the dorm. I was happily watching the World Cup when Rosa came looking for trouble. She accused my computer of having too much junk, hogging the dorm's internet and affecting their streaming and gaming. Such childish provocation. As the girlfriend of the school bully for years, I wouldn't indulge her. Is it because you didn't get the low-income spot? Everything on your vanity costs over $500. Competing with Donna for a low-income spot, have you no shame? Why can't I compete for the low-income spot? Isn't a few $1,000 still money? You don't even support a dorm mate, some friend you are. I want to watch the match, don't bug me. Can't stand her type. Your computer is full of junk, every time you turn it on, we lag. Don't turn it on. She reached over to press the power button. I grabbed her wrist, flipped and pinned her down. Rosa, in pain, twisted her face, the makeup powder flaking off. She half knelt, begging for mercy. Anna. We're all classmates, let go. Other dorm mates came to persuade. I let go and warned Rosa, don't touch my stuff without my permission. Rosa shouted, how dare you hit me, just wait. She ran out. Great, can't watch the game in peace. I figured Rosa was probably getting reinforcements. To be safe, I quickly packed my laptop and planned to watch the game quietly in the teaching building. This was just a temporary retreat, not fleeing in panic. At 9 p.m., there were no classes in the teaching building, most classrooms were empty. I chose one near the door, opened my laptop, and focused on the game with the external speaker on. Suddenly, creak, the classroom door was rudely pushed open. Rosa stuck her head in, scanning the room with a murderous look. Seeing me, she turned and shouted, she's here, come on in. Watching her smugly approaching, I dialed Travis while asking, what do you want? She stopped 2 meters in front of me, looking me up and down as if assessing a lamb for slaughter. Just a little lesson for you. I stood up, closed my laptop, and reminded her, there's surveillance here. The surveillance might break any time, and I won't do anything to you. She sat on a desk like a predator. Travis didn't pick up, seems today's not my lucky day. Shortly, 2 big guys burst in, looking aggressive. One I didn't recognize, had a buzz cut, arms thicker than thighs. Seeing the other made me freeze, he also froze. It was Travis. Quick, she's the one who hit me. Rosa's arrogance soared like a dog seeing its owner. Anna, is there some misunderstanding between you and Rosa? Travis spoke first, then exchanged glances with the buzz-cut guy. We're all friends, just a misunderstanding. Buzz-cut guy dragged the inexplicable Rosa out. Travis explained that buzz-cut guy was Rosa's boyfriend, and since Rosa said someone hit her, he came along to check it out. Who knew? Flood washed the Dragon King's temple, all family here. I was furious, I'm not family with her. Then I recounted everything to Travis. He listened and advised me to let it go, we're all friends. Signs were there, I was just too naive. School was on break, back home. Bored, I attended a middle school reunion, most people were strangers. I picked a few familiar girls to chat with. After a few drinks, a guy with a gold chain around his neck came over with a drink. You're Anna, right? I apologize, here, I'll drink to that. I was puzzled. Back in middle school, I took something from you. When I was with Travis. With Travis? We saw you buying snacks at the store, you had a lot of money in your wallet, so we followed to rob you. I remembered clearly, wasn't it just one guy who robbed me? I was the one who robbed you, Travis was outside as lookout. I was incredulous, but Travis saved me. Bull. It was his idea, I was running with him back then, we robbed often, he planned, I executed. What really happened? Travis clearly beat you off. Jones showed up midway, yeah, him. I beat him up good. Travis feared the noise would attract attention, so he faked it and chased me away. I felt thunderstruck, the hero in white was the bad guy? No way, you still don't know? When you started dating him, Travis called you a bitch everywhere. Sorry, I'm not cursing you. The girls around enjoyed the drama, spilling secrets I didn't know. I suddenly woke up to the realization that the people who can truly hurt you are the ones close to you. Without a familiar face to give an example, strangers wouldn't easily offend you. You broke up with him a long time ago, right? How's Travis doing now? Not sure. I dropped out of middle school to work. But he's probably not doing well. He wasn't a great person, very stingy. When we got money, he took the big cut and gave the rest of us a tiny bit, but last year I saw him looking all high and mighty. He even had a new girlfriend, long legs, great body. The Travis I liked all these years, his true colors are disgusting. He wasted 5 years of my youth and even took my money. I was a YouTuber, and over the years, I made at least $20,000. I gave it all to Travis to save. I must get my money back. I won't even give it to a dog, let alone him. After the holidays, I didn't stay in the dorm. I rented a place near the school. Everything was set up, and I lazily lay on the bed, enjoying my private space. Slowly, tiredness consumed me, and I fell into a deep sleep. In my dream, a rapid knocking woke me up. Still groggy, I got out of bed and opened the door. An elderly couple stood outside, frowning. "Young lady, your place is leaking water." "No way." I said that and then noticed the large wet area in the living room connected to the bathroom. Listening closely, I heard the water running in the bathroom. I must have left the tap on when I rinsed the mop. After a frantic cleanup, the couple angrily led me downstairs. In their living room, the ceiling had started to drip. Thankfully, it was discovered in time, and the leak was just starting. I agreed to pay for the damage I caused. But they were unreasonable. They claimed not only the living room ceiling leaked but also that it damaged all the furniture in their 3-bedroom apartment. They wanted everything replaced, the room repainted, wallpaper changed, and electrical repairs. It was like they wanted a full renovation. But really, there was just a palm-sized wet patch on their ceiling. That's a ridiculous claim. Even though my family is wealthy, enough to renovate or even buy the apartment, this was blatant extortion. I couldn't accept it. I said directly, "I'm just a student. I don't have that kind of money." But this elderly couple was clearly experienced in fighting. With the help of nosy neighbors, I couldn't argue much. They demanded I call home and ask for money. One blow after another left me dazed. In the end, I handed over my apartment key and ID as collateral, giving me a day to figure things out. We agreed to discuss it the next night. The next day, I sought Travis's advice, hoping to get my money back. Travis first blamed me for renting a place and causing trouble. Pretending to be helpless, I said, "It is what it is. Let's just pay them. The 20 grand you saved for me should be enough." Travis couldn't come up with the money. "All our money is in the bank on a 10-year fixed deposit. We can't take it out." "What about at least 1 grand then?" "All I have is 3 grand. There are still over 10 days left this month." "That means no money," he said. "What about the money from selling my bag?" "It hasn't sold yet. My friend said he'd give the money once it sells." I was speechless. The first time I asked for money, and I got that response. "And that bag?" "It was a gift from my mom when I got into college, worth around 50 grand when I unwrapped it," Travis said. "Students shouldn't use such expensive bags. It's too flashy. Why don't we sell it? I have a friend who does gift recycling." I wasn't into luxury goods anyway and agreed with Travis. Students should focus on studying, so I agreed. After school, I went back to the rental alone, dreading what awaited. Before reaching the door, 4 people blocked me in the hallway. The elderly couple had called their son and daughter-in-law. They surrounded me, shouting and pointing. An hour passed, and they wouldn't back down. I got more tired and couldn't hold out much longer. I saw Jones walking out of the elevator. With his tall build, he stood out in the warm hallway light. Like a lifeline, I waved Jones over. He listened for a bit and firmly said, "Let's go downstairs and assess the damage." They were prepared and quickly let him in. The water stain on the ceiling was fading, but the floor had about 10 plastic basins, half full of water, To show the supposed damage, I was shocked. Did they install a faucet on the ceiling? It was exaggerated. Jones calmly looked up for a moment and said, "I'll have someone come analyze this tomorrow. Once we have a report, we'll discuss compensation. We won't pay a cent more than necessary." Saying this, he grabbed my hand and walked out confidently. The elderly couple froze for 5 seconds before realizing they wouldn't gain anything with him there. They wouldn't get any compensation if they dragged it out, and promptly deflated. As we approached the elevator, the old lady rushed to hold the door and said with a smile that we could work things out as neighbors. So, what I struggled with for 2 days, Jones resolved in a minute. Back home, I couldn't help but marvel. They just thought you were an easy target, a young girl. They wanted to exploit you, but being soft doesn't work. They lack money, not time sometimes. You have to understand their mindset and use your head to solve problems, Jones said. Why are you living off campus? We both asked simultaneously. I answered first, I can't get used to the dorms. I prefer living alone. What about you? Jones, I need a soundproof room for recording songs, so I had to rent a place. I followed his channel out of fandom. He's known for covering Taylor Swift songs, his voice clear and bright, and he had quite a few followers. Jones didn't stay long. Before leaving, he said, "From now on, we're neighbors. If you need anything, feel free to ask." The next day, I confronted Travis directly and demanded he repay the money. He's so shameless. He called me a bitch and insisted that we had spent the money together while dating. Rosa also got involved, slandering me on social media. My life turned chaotic. Apart from attending classes, I mostly stayed in my room. I wasn't defeated. I was organizing my thoughts, planning to make Travis and Rosa pay. Jones checked in on me a few times, asking, "What's up lately? You haven't updated your channel. I've tried every recommendation you've made. They haven't disappointed. Tomorrow, I'm going to a live singer competition. Help me find a great place, and let's have a feast," I replied as I tried to perk up. Together with Jones, we headed to the city center for some restaurant scouting. One corner shop with a long line caught my eye. The weathered wooden sign gleamed with oil, a sign of a long-standing establishment. After eating, I told the owner about my influencer status and asked to see their kitchen. When he saw my following of over $100,000, he was even more enthusiastic, offering us a free meal, which I declined. Inside the kitchen, I meticulously filmed the ingredients and tools while the owner patiently explained everything, even adjusting the filming angles and lighting for me. Everything went smoothly until I was about to leave. Jones tugged my sleeve, hinting towards the inner kitchen. Through a half-open door, I saw an employee skillfully pouring the leftover broth from a whole pot through a strainer, filtering out the debris. They then poured the remaining red oil into a new pot, added some seasonings, and placed it on the stove to reheat. I watched in horror as this recycled condiment was served to new customers, making me nauseous thinking about my own meal. Exchanging looks with Jones, we carefully exited the restaurant. It was a scam. I needed to expose them. Without critical video or photos, I described what I saw in writing and posted it on my platform, hoping my followers would avoid this dodgy place. Surprisingly, the post went viral overnight. However, the restaurant's counterpost gained even more traction. They showcased a spotless kitchen video, without any filtering equipment, labeling me as a deceitful blogger who couldn't get a free meal and resorted to slander. Uninformed netizens shared and commented, mostly mocking and insulting me. I felt faint. Only a few loyal fans messaged me, asking what happened. The worst part was Rosa sharing the restaurant's post and trashing me further. It turned out the restaurant was her family's business. At noon, Travis called me. "Did you see the online post? Did you come up with this idea? Does it matter? You know how much impact your post had on her family's restaurant. Make her delete the post slandering me." "I can't decide that. She might, if you give me another $20,000. "Not happening. Get lost." As the day went on, more curious netizens joined in, attacking me without knowing the full story. I was on the verge of smashing my phone. With no solid evidence, I couldn't prove my innocence. Jones called, gently comforting me. "Don't be afraid, I'll post something to support you. My followers are many, we won't let the restaurant twist the truth." I declined his offer. Without solid evidence, angry netizens wouldn't believe it, and I didn't want to drag him into the mess and affect his current competition. An hour later, the celebrity posted a clarifying video. In it, he appeared kind and gentle. "Sorry to take up your time. My friend Anna has been falsely accused. I must stand up for her. I was with her that day and saw everything firsthand. All she said is true. Anna and I have been friends since middle school. She's kind and honest, often helping others. I owe my stream success to her generosity. I lost my wallet with $3,000, which was meant for streaming equipment. My family isn't wealthy, and getting my parents to support me was hard. When I was desperate, Anna helped me find my wallet. The wallet was mine, but the $3,000 wasn't. My parents' money was new with sequential numbers, but Anna's money was crumpled, likely from her parents' store. She didn't admit it, fearing I wouldn't accept her help. Later, I confirmed this with her dad. He only agreed to lend her the money if she gave up TV for a semester. Such a selfless, kind person wouldn't dine and dash or spread lies for money. I ask you not to be misled. Please be patient and wait for the truth to emerge. His sincerity moved some fans and netizens, creating a safe space amidst the storm, giving me a breather and clarity. I carefully reviewed every frame of my videos and photos, searching for evidence. The only revealing shot was a brief 2-second glimpse through the door showing mostly the floor, without any proof of recycled oil. However, a blackish-brown fruit on the shelf under the table caught my eye. It wasn't a cardamom, the crown at the top was clearly visible, an illegal substance shell. Knowing they'd probably removed the substances, calling the police wouldn't help. But this evidence was enough to make them retract the defamatory posts. I extracted a short video segment and sent it to Rosa. She quickly backed down, deleting the slanderous posts and arranging a meeting at the restaurant the next day to discuss further. I finally turned the tables. I proudly shared the good news with Jones. He seemed worried and told me to wait for him to come back so we could go together. I was eager to put an end to the rumors online and wanted to gather evidence of her store using poppy shells. I was certain the store would be busy at noon, and they wouldn't dare do anything to me. I arrived at the store as promised. Rosa, who greeted me at the door, had a different attitude, being overly courteous as she ushered me inside. She explained that it was too noisy downstairs and inconvenient to talk, so she took me to an office on the second floor. I had already secretly turned on the voice recorder. I sat down casually and got straight to the point, make a clarification video, apologize to me, apologize to the public, and promise never to use recycled oil again. Rosa looked miserable. That would ruin the store's reputation. Can we explain it as a misunderstanding? Just say the recycled oil you saw was part of the normal disposal process and the oil was put in the trash, not reused. Which is worse, letting everyone know your food contains illegal poppy shells or owning up to using recycled oil? Why would you use such things? I tried to guide her into admitting it was just a tiny bit to enhance flavor. It's harmless, we've been eating it for decades. Don't make a big deal out of it. You think it's no big deal? How about I post the video online then? $5,000. Rosa gritted her teeth. Isn't it money you want? I shook my head disdainfully. I don't want your money. Travis took $20,000 from me. You call him to talk. The door suddenly swung open. It was Travis. He locked the door after stepping in. We're all friends here, no need to make it so tense. Let's negotiate calmly. My heart sank. Travis sat next to me, his smile twisted and frightening. I tried to stay calm. Return the $20,000 to me, and I'll delete the video evidence. Fine. To my surprise, Travis agreed readily. You pay first, then I'll delete it. No problem. Travis made the transfer on the spot. Now can you delete it? Everything was going too smoothly. I deleted it and prepared to leave. Wait. How do I know if you haven't saved a copy? Travis snatched my phone and started searching. I didn't. She wouldn't lie to you. She never lies to me. Hearing Travis' words, I secretly breathed a sigh of relief. This time he miscalculated. He's deceived me for 5 years, why can't I deceive him once? I don't trust her. I trust her, but I have a better way. What way? I looked at his malicious smile, feeling panicked. Let's take some nude photos. If you dare speak out, I'll post your nudes. Travis, are you even human? After all these years together, you're ruthless enough to treat me like this? Sorry, Rosa is my girlfriend. Her dad even gave me 20 grand to settle this. Suddenly his face changed as he found the recording app hidden in the phone's background. Bitch, you dared to record. Travis shut off my phone and tossed it aside, then lunged at me, tearing my clothes. I cried out in fear. Travis pinned me down on the couch. Bitch, what's with the shouting? All these years and you wouldn't even let me touch you. You think I liked you? It was just 'cause you had some money. Stop acting coy, you've already moved in with Jones after just a few days. Thought I didn't know? Today I'll not just take your nude photos, I'll make it really sensational. Rosa stood by, recording with her phone. Stop wasting time with her, hurry up. You're not seriously giving her back the 20 grand, are you? Of course not, giving the money back was just to check if she was up to any tricks. Once we take the photos, she'll obediently return the money. You two have been together this whole time? I struggled, managing to ask. Yeah, last time in the school building was when I realized you were the bitch Travis talked about. Oh, and the bag your mom gave you is really nice. Travis wouldn't let me use it outside before. I felt ashamed and angry, squirming desperately to escape Travis' clutches. Suddenly, there was a rapid knock on the door. I seized the chance to shout, "Help!" The door was kicked open immediately. Jones staggered in. Just as he steadied himself, Travis kicked him down. "Help!" Jones clutched his stomach, shouting towards the door. As expected of a singer, his voice was several times louder than mine. Travis calmly closed the door, besides screaming, "What are you good for? That time in middle school, you ruined everything too." Jones saw I was okay and slowly stood up. "Wanna try me?" Travis hesitated for a moment, not rushing at him. Just then, hurried footsteps were heard outside, and 2 police officers burst in. One of them, a stunning woman, swiftly pinned the arrogant Travis to the floor. Travis and Rosa were put into the police car. Jones told the police about the illegal substances, and they immediately searched the store, even packing up the food customers were eating. I heard that even if the substances were ground into powder, they could be tested. I handed my hidden recorder to the police too. While the police were busy outside, I leaned on Jones on a couch. He draped his coat over me, warm and comforting. I asked, "Why did you come?" "I was worried about you." "Did you call the police?" "I tried calling you, but your phone was off." "Worried something might happen, I called the cops." "What about your competition?" "I'll figure it out, I'll go back tonight to see what I can do." "I'm sorry, it's my fault for trusting the wrong person." "It's okay, it's all in the past." "How about me, how do I look now?" I turned my head, seeing Jones' clean eyes, full of anticipation. I said, "Your eyes look like crescent moons." I avoided a direct answer. I knew his feelings for me. I had to admit, I had gradually developed feelings for this gentle and refined gentleman in front of me. He had done so much for me, yet my youth had been wasted on a scumbag. It was unfair to him. Jones seemed to see through my thoughts. "You're like a star, and I'm the one chasing the star. I've always been by your side and always will be." His voice, gentle yet firm. Maybe he was the real hero in my life. "Oh, you really know Kung Fu? How do you think I survived all these years?"